you know, highly anticipated, you know, back to another podcast. We ain't got no introductions for you niggas. Yeah, man. You know what time it
None
is,
whatsoever.
nigga. Yeah, man. Don't ask me my name. Don't ask me my name. I got my co-host over here. No name. Yeah, man. He can tell you if he want to, but we gonna call him no name for a couple more podcasts until we get a name.
It's the guy with the line.
And yeah, man. Back to the Much About Nothing podcast, man. One of our co-hosts couldn't join us, but yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get right into it. LeBron and Stephen A. LeBron versus Stephen A. Them niggas is squabbling, man. So, without further ado, we gonna get right into it, and yeah,
to you
go.
and Stephen A.
Battle with the unks.
Battle with the unks.
Legit. That feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all.
Oh yeah.
We're all. You're seeing it as well.
He literally. It started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Can you hear it?
Sure. I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it, but since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, went viral. You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you can address it, it's your ass. Like seriously, it's. And like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job to criticize or to, be in a position where, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal,
he acknowledged that.
It's my job to
I want
not
him to
only protect
acknowledge
my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair.
Getting it up.
And his tiny whiteies on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance.
Yeah,
but you're right.
Dude, like relax, bro. Like relax. Like seriously, just
Kind of on that note, Bronny, your son, he's obviously had that inspiration in the home, and
that nigga trash.
Years ago, wanting to play long enough to play with your
Bronny
son.
trash?
So you obviously visualized that. How was the real moment with that happening? Because I know
he ain't got the confidence for the NBA. In the G League, he be going off.
It's an unbelievable moment. So
he just on transition over.
So I'm gonna pause it right there. All right. So you think LeBron? I was about to call him LeBronny. I'm gonna call this nigga LeBronny like 9 times before I get
LeBron. Hey, we gotta call you that, LeBronny.
Yeah, man. But yeah, you think
LeBronny James?
I think he underdeveloped.
He good.
I think he underdeveloped. I think that's what it is.
It don't transition over to the NBA, so I think either it's a confidence thing or he underdeveloped. He nervous when he get to the big stage, or
that, and like he a 55th pick, so they're not treating him like a 55th pick.
Yeah. That's definitely something you got to consider.
Treated like he's the first.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm guilty of that shit, so that's why I'm just like, wait, you don't like.
And it's like a 55th pick.
I'm surprised, like a Bron fan, because you are a Bron fan. I'm so surprised for you to not just be like induct his son into the fucking Avengers. Like he got an honorary spot, nigga. I'm so surprised that's not the case right now. So I'm actually like happy. I'm like, oh shit. Like he ragging on Bron? For Bronny? Oh man. Nah, but let's get back. So we got 7 minutes on this. He might not say nothing else about Stephen A, but let's just see what else he got to say, and then I'm gonna get to Stephen A response.
What was that like for you really actually being in it?
Like seeing that pop fly head towards King Griffey Sr. and then see Junior over there right before the ball got to his glove and he snatched it out the air and run back to the dugout like laughing at his pops. Like was a cool ass moment, and for that moment, that game, that home opener versus Minnesota, and then just over there and see Griffey Jr., man, the kid, and seeing his pops over there, and us getting that picture at half court, and then us going out on the floor and having that moment. Physically, I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there.
You're floating.
I'm floating, and I can
Dad right there.
I can only imagine where Bronny was. I don't know. We haven't even talked about it yet. At some point we will, but I wasn't even there. Like I might have been in the rafters. I might have been at home. My body may have been at home watching the game, watching the moment. I completely was not there, and but damn, that was an unbelievable moment, man, for me to be able to like have that dream, be able to speak it into existence, for it to come to fruition.
That was definitely his story.
For my mom and my wife and my daughter and my youngest son to be there. It was like, you know, I started thinking about everything from what the hell he went through less than a year before with his
He almost died?
His cardiac arrest, man.
That came out of nowhere, seemingly.
That came out of nowhere. It was a birth defect that quite honestly, if he never played sports or he never like started to become, you know, strong and run fast and all those stuff, we would never have to worry about it. But as he got stronger and things of that nature, it was just something inside his heart that, you know, was just pounding at his heart and pounding at his lungs that unfortunately we had the incident. And thankfully, you know, a lot of these kids we've been seeing a lot lately in sports, not only in basketball, but in football.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we was able to catch it. And to all the families out there that haven't had the opportunity to catch their kids before it gets to the point where they're not here anymore. Like, to see that happen to Bronny and for him to be able to play that same year after that happened, you know, at USC, and then less than a year later be drafted by the Lakers, and then in that fall, we go out there together. So that's why I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like we walked in together, but I was not there.
That's a dad moment. That's really cool.
Yeah,
People forget.
Yeah, man. So, like, when you sit here and think about that shit and put all of that in the context with he talking about, all right, so how do you feel now as far as, you know, Bronny's situation, knowing he's only the 55th pick?
Yeah, he's playing like a 55th pick then. You know, that's how I feel. Like, you know, I gotta remember that sometimes. Like, I can't expect him to be the next LeBron James. Yeah, 55th pick, you know?
Yeah, and so LeBron was a #1 overall pick out of high school.
Yeah.
So, like, that's different. Like, that is a very different kind of expectation we put on LeBron. And I'm guilty of it because I'm sitting here thinking, like, I said last video, like, Stephen A. named all of these people whose sons been in the league and didn't father their sons into the league, in which case they didn't. But I also stated that he was right, but that at the same time, they also never had a chance to. As far as, like, having that leverage and still being able to play that long in the league and still be that dominant enough to demand something like that. So, if them niggas had that same choice, they would have did the same exact thing, bar none. So that's where I come in and be like, like when you put all of that shit on top of each other, like we do kind of come down on Bronny for no reason, just for being his pops. Son.
You know, you're only in one name now, LeBron, but you're still a human too.
For sure.
You know, your baby boy.
Man.
And then obviously that led to the thing Stephen A. talking about him and how critical everybody has been of Bronny. And I think that's a pressure that a second generation star has on him.
Yeah, for
His
sure.
whole life he's had that. It feels like he is very. I mean, he's like a 55-year-old, it looks like, the way he kind of handles it all, and I think you've even said that as well.
Yeah.
But how about his development? We had Rich Paul on the day after the draft.
Yeah, man.
Because there was a bunch of rumors about Rich Paul was telling teams, hey, you draft him, we'll send him to Australia. Like, there was a lot of those types of things happening. Allegedly, the Suns were involved. There was a chance they could get you, but he ends up with the Lakers with you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a whole storm. Like, LeBron James is bullying, blah, 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 blah. Everything, the way it always goes.
Of course.
This guy's not good enough. This guy's not this. And he does start out a little bit rough, NBA-wise. But now, I mean, he just dropped 39 last night in the G League.
Yeah.
I think he had like a double-double or something. He had his best game in the NBA
Yep.
Yeah, he
last
be
week.
going
He's
up in the
obviously
G
getting better and
League.
better.
Yeah.
You have to be loving every moment. And
you
how
think
proud
that's
of Bronny
padded
are you
stats,
for
though?
what
Like,
he's
they
going through? And
Listen, for me as a
purposely
dad,
passing it to this nigga.
shit, it doesn't matter if he never scores ever. For me as a
I
dad,
don't
I'm
know.
just super proud of him. Period. As a young man,
This nigga has been in the G League
for
for
me
years
as a
and shit,
mentor, as
fighting
a
for a
teammate of
roster
his,
spot.
and that wants to see him thrive because I've seen the work
I'll
he's
be
put
mad
into
if
the
I got
game. I am
passes to
super
this
proud
nigga.
of his development to where he is now. From the
Bro,
moment
do you
that
think it's some niggas in the G League? Hold
he
up.
was drafted, and
So with that being said, do you think it's some niggas in the G League that'll bust his ass as far as, you know, one-on-one or in practice? You think they just be ma.
In the G League, since he dropping 39 and shit, I think he LeBron in the G League and shit.
You really think he can just all right. So, do
Because
you
he
think?
do that consistently. He dropped 30 consistently. Like, oh, you the Bron of the G League. And
Yeah,
shit.
but
Okay.
if I gave you 45% of the touches, you probably going. I mean, you hit 15 shots. That's 30 points.
Yeah.
If we
How many shots he can shoot though?
exactly, so you got to know his usage rate, and that's
Yeah,
what I'm
he shoot
getting
like
at. If he got the
23
ball
for
60% of
50
the
and shit.
time,
So like, God damn.
if he got the ball
Right,
60%
60
of
and
the
60.
time, yeah, like that's different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, nah, I feel him, but at the same time, some of those niggas are former NBA players, and ain't no way he just dropped 30 on all these niggas. So
Yeah.
his usage rate is high, is what I'm saying. Like, I ain't saying he a bum, but his usage rate is high. He getting a lot of experience, is what I'm actually saying. So yeah, let's get back to it.
in June of 2025 to us being now in March of 2026, his development is skyrocketed, you know. And I just think I had a good friend of mine, you know, who went through a cardiac arrest as well, and he told me that, you know, it took him, and he played basketball as well. And back then, when it happened to him in the early 2000s, they wasn't with going back to performing. It was like, if it happened, it's over with.
Let's not roll the dice.
Yeah, we're not rolling the dice. There was not enough data on it. It's like, you have a cardiac arrest, it is over. We don't want this on our resume. They was not going back to perform the play. And he told me, he was like, man, I'm gonna be honest, it took me about 2.5 years to finally get back to just normalcy. Like, my body, my mind, and, you know, he said when it happened to me, I was 23 years old. Bronny was 19 years old, you know, and he's like, it's gonna take a little time, and I reason with that, but also he's doing things right now less than 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because of his determination and his will to want to get better, and his will to, like, I don't really care what y'all saying. I hear it. He did an article the other day. He was like, yeah, I hear the noise. I use it as motivation, but I also know what I'm capable of. And, you know, I've always told my kids, like, all of them, you know, they all play sports. 2 basketball players. My youngest son going to Arizona on a full ride. My daughter's
What is he, 7 foot tall, by the way? That came out of nowhere. Bryce, right? He popped up out of nowhere. Because we follow your family on YouTube. We see it all. Bryce, and it's like Bronny, okay, and then Lil Bryce. Lil Bryce with the glasses.
Bryce better than Bronny,
and then all of a sudden, one video popped up of an Aussie.
Yo, a lot of people say that Bryce is better than Bronny. Yo, why is that? I've never seen, like, footage of him hoop. I've only seen Bronny.
Well, you see, like, his highlights, he moved just like LeBron. He moved just like him and shit. It's like a split image.
The youngest,
so that's why you're saying, like,
the youngest sons are always the best at the sports, because they had the most time to develop all of the they had the most time to figure out every flaw. Like, if Face would have played basketball and then Weedy would have played basketball, I would have probably been the nigga in the NBA, because I'd have had time to figure out the whole game by then and learn the new shit. That's why LaMelo is so that's why LaMelo is so ill, and Lonzo knew that. He was like, even as a kid, he knew, you know, Lonzo the best one out of all of us. I mean, LaMelo the best one out of all of us. He said that as an NBA player.
Yeah. Facts.
So like, yeah. So the youngest one typically is, and the daughter, she probably gonna be the next Juju or something like that. So
yeah, Juju, nice.
Man, prayers out to Juju. I know she might not see this, but prayers out to Juju Watkins, man. She tore, I think she tore her ACL in the tournament. So
damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
They won the game, but I don't know how far they gonna get in the tournament after that, man. But they do got a strong team. So
he was gonna be the one to change the WNBA and shit.
I think she should just declare for the draft, so and figure that out. Whenever she's eligible to. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Yeah.
Bryce told him, Bron.
Wait a minute.
So he on his way to Arizona. My daughter's, she's playing 12 and under volleyball. She just turned 10. So like, and I just tell him like, it doesn't matter about the noise. That's gonna happen. It's only about like, if you love it, go out and practice. If you think if you fall in love with it, you only can fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the outcome. Fall in love with the process, and that shit will take care of itself. So super proud of Bronny, man. I know it's very long-winded when you talk about the kids. I just start thinking about them, but super proud of his game and where he is today. Starting off the G League season with like, just trying to figure it out, and now, shit, like you said last night, 39. Mm-hmm. And more than anything, when I talked to him, he was more pissed off at the technical free throw that he missed. More than anything. He's like, I could have had a 40 earlier. He said, I could have had a 40 ball, and I missed that damn technical free throw. So, man, the kid is he's awesome.
He's been fun to watch. It is, and the story has gotten so loud, and I think that's why listening to you talk and you say you get long-winded about the kid, it's like, well, that's why everything that happened a couple weeks ago. But, like, you playing with him, obviously was a dream. You said that years ago. Bryce now, though, I mean,
very possible.
That is.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And you said you're 215, nowhere near 280. You're in the best shape.
Exactly.
The best shape you've been in. That conversation
only
loud
215
about now.
Yeah.
About how many more does LeBron James have?
Man, I drop that nigga. No, I'm joking. I cannot drop LeBron James. In case you're not this far in the video, nigga, no, I cannot.
We about to be on the Paul McAfee show and shit. Yeah, I heard Swerve say he gonna drop me.
Show footage.
This nigga gonna be
shit hitting the like, what the fuck he get that from? I wasn't even recording.
He gonna be on the shop. He gonna be on the shop talking about it and shit. Like, oh man.
All right.
Oh, this nigga Steven
yeah, so you can see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right,
yeah.
Bet. Say last
his little reaction. His reaction.
All right, so here's where we get to the segment where we get Stephen A portion of the response. And it's 52 minutes long, man. So if y'all at this point in the video, man, lock in, roll up. Yeah, man, and let's get right to it, man, because I think this is gonna be the funny part.
What's up, everybody? Stephen A. Smith here. Recently, we made news because the great Bill O'Reilly announced a tour that's coming nearest you.
We're gonna let him get his promo off because this is his video. So
get your tickets now.
Everybody
for this.
Get their promo off.
It's called 3 Americans
all through y'all
live.
Shit.
March 30th at Live Nation's Flag Star at the Westbury Music Fair on Long Island. Don't miss the very first show. It's myself, Chris Cuomo, and that man, Bill O'Reilly. Take our different ideas, our different backgrounds, our different beliefs across the country to demonstrate that respectful, meaningful, and even fun conversation. Those are the things that make America as great as it should be. The show will be spirited, unscripted, and all three of us will let it fly as we discuss the topics everyone is thinking about these days. There'll also be questions from the audience. We're not running. Tickets are officially on sale now with pre-sale code USA at 3AmericansLive.com.
You can tell Stephen A. really about to run for
VIP
president.
packages are available with the opportunity to meet and take photos with myself
you heard about
and both those fellas.
That's
3 Americans Live, March 30th.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Westbury Music Fair on Long Island. Additional dates and cities to be announced.
That's how you know it's fucking staged.
I'm just like, how did
you'll get a kick out of it.
So many other politicians.
Did y'all see him?
Yeah.
Y'all saw LeBron James, right?
Here we go.
Clearly, he wanted to be seen showing up on the Pat McAfee show today.
Shit.
Talking a little bit of smack, by the way, about yours truly. Okay. He had his say. My turn. Stephen A. Smith Show in the house.
My turn.
Let's roll.
Shit.
This nigga horrible, bro.
Nigga said,
what's up, everybody?
Turn.
Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you over the digital airways of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio.
As
always, I'd like to take a moment to thank my subscribers and followers over the last 23 months or so. Millions of downloads, courtesy of iHeartRadio, not to mention 1.15 million subscribers we've accumulated over that same period of time as well. Can't thank y'all for the love and support enough. I truly appreciate it. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your love and support. Please don't think that I ever forget that. I always know that. To continue to like and follow the show, just click the bell to get notified for all of our newest content, and you too shall be the latest member of the Stephen A. Smith Show family. And as always, I like to encourage people to get a copy of my New York Times bestselling book, Straight Shooter, a memoir of second chances and first takes, now in paperback. Just go to straightshooterbook.com to get yourself a copy. Once again, that's straightshooterbook.com to get yourself a copy. Let's just get right into it. We all know where I need to start today, and it's with some sports talk, media news, and my good friend, Mr. Lebron James. LeBron appeared on the Pat McAfee show today and made a few headlines with his thoughts on a number of topics, including yours truly. For those of you who didn't see it, I'll play it for you right here. This is LeBron James on Pat McAfee talking about me.
Which leads, obviously, to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it.
Oh yeah,
you're seeing it as well.
No, this, he literally
he called him
off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to
like
address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, well, Farrell, you would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like seriously, it's. And like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game.
I'm waiting
but
for
when
the
you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about it again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking sit in his chair and his tidy whities on the couch.
I hope at some point too do get a chance.
Like relax, bro.
Like relax.
There you go.
There you go.
Tidy whities comment was funny because I don't wear tidy whities. Let you figure out why that is. But moving on from that particular subject, I don't happen to consider anything that LeBron has said a laughing matter. So y'all wanted me to be serious, I'll be serious. And I know there's some people out there that's going to be like, oh, I'm milking the story for all it's worth. Well,
it happened to him.
I've been winning in television for quite some time. I don't need an incident like this to talk about LeBron, and I don't need an incident like this to get ratings. LeBron gives us plenty of ammunition to talk about him, both good and bad. So let's get that out the way first.
Facts.
Let's also get out the way that major props to Pat McAfee for getting that interview. There's a lot of people that's been texting me, and he's a teammate. He's on ESPN. Why would he do that? Please, y'all, be quiet. Pat McAfee did nothing wrong. Pat McAfee did his job.
Yeah, like
Pat McAfee has a show that airs on ESPN.
Right.
You have an opportunity to get LeBron James. You take him. I don't give a damn who you are. This is one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. You get him. If you have an opportunity to get him, you get him.
Absolutely.
And I didn't think that Pat McAfee disrespected me or did me wrong in any way. He did his job, and I got no problems with it. My issue is with LeBron James. And I just want to say for the record, LeBron James is full of it. And in this particular instance, as it pertains to his son, he is a liar. And he went on national television today and he lied again. You see, when he approached me while I was sitting courtside at that game against the New York Knicks, when he rolled up on me, I didn't know he was going to roll up on me. I had no idea. But when he said what he had to say, I was in no position to give any kind of retort without making a scene. It was during the third quarter. It was fresh out of a timeout. It was him walking to the basketball court. It was on national television. The cameras were rolling. And had I done something, what do y'all want me to do? You want me to act? You want this to be a reincarnation of Chris Rock and Will Smith?
Bro.
And let me state for the record that while we...
Yo, just think about this, yo. In this whole moment right here, LeBron up there shaking his bed, you know what I mean, and Stephen A. face, you know what I mean? Shaking his bed, just yelling, right? Shaking his fucking bed. Stephen A. just reached his hands into the depths of hell and just come up with the meanest uppercut slap. Because you know you gotta punch up on this nigga. You can't punch down. There ain't no way you can punch down on this nigga. You gotta up it. You ain't gonna knock LeBron out. You just gotta slap that nigga. Just let him know, like, bro, I'm not scared. Bah! I'm not really scared of you, my nigga. Like, this gonna sting more than a punch would. Yeah. So, but nah. Like, imagine that though. Like a Chris Rock, Will Smith situation. And Stephen
LeBron would have choked him and shit. LeBron would have choked him and picked him up and shit by his neck.
You don't think LeBron would have ate that? But
then Stephen A. would have to, he had to kill him after that.
You don't think LeBron would have ate that slap because he got sponsors and shit and the whole world watching? It just Stephen A. just hauled off and just.
Oh, he a billionaire already and shit.
Oh, what? You think you the shit?
You know.
Wow. Like he would 100% just like, nah. LeBron punt that nigga into the upper deck.
LeBron would crash out. Like he already a billionaire.
He'll punt that nigga into the upper deck, nigga.
Right. This nigga already got 4 rings, billionaire.
That's all you need.
Possibly working on his 5th.
Yeah, yo. But that's funny as shit. Let's
bring
get back
up
to
that. Let me assure you, it wouldn't have gone down like that. I would have gotten my ass kicked. Because had that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately stopped. Immediately.
This nigga be honest.
That I'm not going to
I would have got my ass kicked.
But I knew he wasn't going to do something like that. There was no fear in my mind about it. It was shock. Because as I have repeatedly stated,
what?
I was not talking about his son.
Right.
I was talking about him. And whether it's the video that you saw him a couple of days later after that incident when he was talking to Richard Jefferson, my colleague at ESPN, before an ABC game in Boston when it got blown out that night by the Celtics, or in the aftermath of it, including Pat McAfee's show when he talked about me getting personal and taking it beyond basketball, I'm getting to a point where I'm getting very annoyed at people who cover the game of basketball, who cover professional sports, pundits out there, including him, his inner circle, his family members, and everybody else included. When are y'all going to ask him or hold him accountable for the truth?
What's the truth, nigga?
I have not been talking about Bronny James.
Yeah.
I have not, as LeBron James accused me of doing to my face, been shitting on his son. I clapped back at D. Wade and Melo, 2 brothers I love dearly, when they were talking about this, even though 99% of the stuff they said was right. It was not clapping back at his son. Your second-round pick, 55th overall, there's been plenty of second-round picks that have to work their way up through the ranks before getting to the pro level. Me pointing that out about his son and talking about how his son has been pushed to the forefront, thereby put in a line of fire for folks in the media to come at him, is not denigrating his son. It's simply highlighting what we all knew, which is that he's not ready yet. But based on what we've seen from Bronny recently, there are indications that he will be. And as LeBron James pointed out on the Pat McAfee show today, it's probably sooner than later because his growth and his maturation from just a year ago has happened by leaps and bounds. Nothing but respect and appreciation. Wishing Bronny nothing but the best. This is not about Bronny. This is about LeBron. This is about LeBron. And when you sit up there and you talk about, I love talking about, I don't need something like this to happen to talk about LeBron. He plays for the Lakers. He is LeBron James. I don't need an incident like this to talk about LeBron James. And do I use him for ratings? You're damn right. Like I use anything in the news for ratings. Because I'm a reporter and a personality and a pundit and a commentator. That's my career.
That's his job.
Of course I talk about him.
Yeah,
of course
that's my
I talk
job.
about anything relevant in the news.
Yo, he got a point.
1 minute it's LeBron, another minute it's the Cowboys. Y'all act like that's all I talk about. For 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week live, all I talk about is LeBron and the Cowboys. Are you sure?
I'm gonna stop right there real quick. He
got a point.
Nigga. he got a point. He do talk about, but he don't talk about him for two hours a day. Like,
yeah.
But
yeah,
he do got a point though.
You talking about a lot.
Stephen A. is a reporter, so he got to report on something.
Yeah, you know, you got to talk about your son. He a professional, you know, NBA basketball player. So
I got
to talk about your son.
He was an NBA basketball player, and that's the thing about that.
Exactly.
Shit, don't. I don't think LeBron was ready for that kind of comment. It was more of a wedge kind of comment, kind of like divisive, but probably like seemingly divisive between him and his son. Like, why would you allow him to, you know, come up so early? He should have stayed there and developed a little bit more.
Exactly.
And you forcing him up here right now. It's like, it just seemed like it was like a wedge driver. So that's probably like, like
you're right.
So that's probably why LeBron really got ticked off. Like, if he would have just heard that comment like a week later and like had time to
you questioning my parenting and shit.
Yeah, like that's the first thing
you question a nigga parenting and shit. It was like you taking it personal and shit.
Yeah,
like,
and so that's what made that shit really personal. But other than that, like if he just would have never said as a father, everything else would have probably been valid.
Right, right.
That's where that come in, like, because you would have never known,
so
you would have never known, like, if he would have just said, "Stop doing this to him," then, that's not personal.
Then it was like, nigga, like, what you mean stop doing this song? Nigga, you ain't for the Lakers, nigga. Like,
so now you got a more 50-50 crowd, because now people like, like, what are y'all doing? He's supposed to be in the G League. Clearly, he's putting up 39 points a game. Like, till he can do that, like, multiple games in a row, maybe he shouldn't be playing on the regular team for right now. So, but he is getting some good time at the end of the game. So, but let's get back to it real quick.
Because I can pick a whole bunch of things I've gotten in trouble for opening my mouth about. But that's neither here nor there. Because let's not get distracted from the real point at hand. The real point at hand is this. LeBron James continues to lie. He hoodwinked y'all into thinking that he was upset about criticism about his son. If your son is a professional basketball player, and I was talking about your son as a basketball player, since you just went on Pat McAfee's show and said you would never knock anybody for talking about the game.
I knew it.
Then what is it that I said? What I said was, as a father, stop. I wasn't talking about you as a father, as somebody that's home minding your business, and I just call you out because your son is in this position. That's not the father I've been talking about. That's why I've been addressing Draymond Green, who's been an avid supporter of LeBron on this matter. All I'm asking is for comprehension of the actual point.
I love it.
How do you mention Bronny James without bringing up?
Disagree without having to take the
how he got drafted by the Lakers?
Yeah.
How he got drafted, period.
This is some mature shit.
How do you bring that up without bringing up LeBron James saying he was better than some NBA players before he got to the NBA? How do you bring that up without bringing up that LeBron James said, quote, if you want me, draft my son. At this point, it ain't about the money. I'll play for free. That was LeBron.
He said that, yo. He did
say that.
How is it? I mean, I understand cynics. I understand this penchant to just hate the player and not the game. I understand how it's tempting to just come at me because you might dislike me or might disagree with me if you're Joe Public or Susie Public out there. I get it. But don't the truth matter? Because there's one person in this ordeal that's telling the truth. And it's me. I don't lie to y'all.
Yeah, you might want to roll another one while you at it.
His ass lies a lot. And there's a lot of shady stuff that he does.
That he lies a lot. All right.
And one of the things is his passive aggressiveness. And the two-facedness. And smile in your face.
Yeah, he say he be lying and shit. He had the meme floating around and shit.
I happen to know that about him.
You said, wait, what?
Which is why I don't like him.
Had the LeBron line meme
floating
around.
Don't like him? Hold up.
What happened? Run that shit back.
He said he don't like him. Hold up. We're going to run that one back, bro.
His ass lies a lot.
Okay.
And there's a lot of shady stuff that he does. And one of the things is his passive aggressiveness. And the two-facedness. And smile in your face and dig you behind the back. I happen to know that about him. Which is why I don't like him. And he don't like me. But it doesn't stop me from being fair and calling it like I see it. We ain't exchanging Christmas gifts. We ain't having Thanksgiving dinner together. What you bring your son up in there for? What you bring your family up in there before? You gonna go on Pat McAfee show, talk about you gonna protect your house. What you talking about? Your son ain't at the house. He's at Crypto.com Arena. We ain't covering him in Brentwood. We covering him in downtown LA at the Crypto.com Arena. Where you put him. Now, I happen to believe that he's going to be ready. I think Bronny's going to be an NBA player. I believe in the kid, personally. But LeBron did this. Now, to get to he and I, could y'all please go back to the video
this is
of him getting in my face?
Nice heating,
if you watch, ladies and gentlemen, and you see it for yourself, notice how LeBron is in my face, and right when he finishes, he looks past me right at the camera that was filming it. Watch him. I didn't even pick that up first go round. You got Markieff Morris to my right, his left. You got Scott Brooks, assistant coach, behind him. He finishes talking and looks right up to the camera. Everybody and their mother knew I was going to be there. Because when you sit courtside, the Lakers have an idea of who's going to show up.
So you think you finna get...
He knew I was coming.
So he think he finna get jumped by LeBron, Markieff Morris, and Scott Brooks.
Say he thought he was about to get jumped.
Oh shit. Yo, look who he got in LeBron posse, yo. He got Scott Brooks, and he got LeBron and Markieff Morris. Yo, that's funny as shit, yo.
That's funny, yo.
That's funny as shit, bro. Like,
he finishes talking and looks right up to the camera. Everybody and their mother knew I was gonna be there.
Look.
Because when you sit courtside, the Lakers have an idea of who's going to show up.
He was scared.
He knew I was coming.
He was on your doorstep, nigga.
Right.
And
pressing
the
you, bro.
third quarter,
He was on
you got pressed
in the middle of the game.
He was scared.
Yeah.
To say what he has to say to make sure the camera's rolling, and to then look at the camera after immediately saying what he said to me.
If he would have Will Smith slapped that nigga in that moment, yo, that would have been the most iconic shit.
We could have went to the back after the game. LeBron James could have came right over the press row and said, yo, don't leave. I want to see you after the game. We got to have a conversation.
Oh, all right. I'm like, wait. Nah, no.
And before.
That's not what that sound like. We gonna run those two couple moments back real quick. I know I keep stopping it, but that's not what that just sound like in that context. That's just hearing.
Yeah, I see that.
I want to see you after the game. We gotta have a conversation.
Black men don't have conversations
and before
after the game when you say it like that.
Any of these players or any professional athlete or anybody associated with them says another syllable. Think about this. 99% of y'all would have done that. Y'all would have said, Steven, they don't leave. I ain't see you, bro. After the game, LeBron didn't want that because LeBron would have had to deal with my response. And my response would have been, you did this. This ain't me. Don't put this on me. Why the hell are you putting your son in this position knowing we got to cover him? If we don't cover him, we ain't doing our job. Why would you do that? That's what I would have said to him. But he didn't want a response. He didn't want that. Because LeBron wanted to give smoke. He didn't want to take any.
Okay, all right.
What am I talking about?
I need a debate.
I have even more nuggets of info to give y'all on that point.
You got to pop up on the shop.
Brother don't like smoke. He just likes the game.
Right.
Okay.
Typical bully mentality. It ain't working with me. What am I talking about exactly?
Okay,
I'll tell you
what you talking about?
Right after this break from our sponsors. All right, folks, I need you to stop what you're doing and listen up. You know I love this time of year, right? College basketball is full of action jumping off. The Stephen A. Smith Show wants to make sure you take advantage of it all. That's why we've partnered with Prize Picks, the best sports. The app is easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash on a single lineup. So, get ready for the next round of college basketball tournament. Prize Picks is offering a Cooper flag free pick.
With LeBron?
It's live right now. Duke freshman.
Nah, he was going to do. I don't think he was going to do that.
Nah, he was going to have
a conversation.
Lock it in for your college basketball lineup this week. We're 1 point.
Yeah, he definitely going to duck that fade.
Best of all, Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code SAS and download the app now. Again, download the app and use code SAS to get $50 instantly after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, hey, run your game. Today, I'll give you my picks for 2 college basketball matchups taking place on Thursday, March 27th, when the Duke Blue Devils take on the Arizona Wildcats and the Florida Gators.
I'm a mute show too. I think that shit is gone. I don't feel like I ain't know he was gonna do all this. But yeah, Prize Pick. Cooper flag, yeah. Hey, Prize Picks, come pick our shit up, man. Don't do that. Yeah, it's only our second cash, yeah, I mean, we're a little rusty, but with a little bit of money, we could, All right, you giving everybody else money, man. Hey, if we do get this pod going like that, though, like, nigga, is you trying to take sponsors and shit? No business shit in the middle of this, but, you know, while we got some quiet time. Like, yeah. Because this shit he not done doing none of his ads. We got to start with small sponsors, though. I don't want no big big sponsors right away.
Had a bad game, he scored around 16 to 17 points. So why would I think it's going to be less? I'm going to go with more on this one as well. So let's recap to make sure that we touch on all of these guys.
Prize picks.
All right. Oh, no. Where was I at? No. Fuck.
He don't like me. But it doesn't stop me
You don't like me
from being fair and calling it like I see it. We ain't exchanging Christmas gifts. We ain't having Thanksgiving dinner together. What you bring your son up in there for? What you bring your family up in there before? You gonna go on Pat McAfee show, talk about you gonna protect your house. What you talking about? Your son ain't at the house. He's at Crypto.com Arena. We ain't covering him in Brentwood. We covering him in downtown. And that's how I roll.
There we go.
LeBron is one of those dudes who believes he's up here.
He on his second round right now, just so we clear. He already on his, he went through his second break.
Or down here. There are exceptions.
Oh,
you know, in moments that
LeBron
he needs
had
others.
2 minutes, 1 round.
But that's who he is.
In a 3-round battle.
Cool.
LeBron
round. Has a show called The Shop.
20 minutes in. So
once upon a time, Rich Pauls, the Maverick Carters came up to me, gotta have you on. I said, simple and plain, no problem. Only on one condition. 2 conditions, I'm sorry. LeBron must be there because there are times where the shop was aired and LeBron wasn't in attendance. I said, I show up, LeBron has to be there. Number 1. And number 2,
that's very fair.
No editing. Don't edit shit out. Cliff note stuff, clip things, cut it out. Nah. Let the public see.
That's fair.
I know if I told him to come on First Take, he ain't gonna want to do that because he views that as benefiting me. I know that if I wanted him to come on this podcast, he viewed that as benefiting me.
Fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, I offered to come on his spot. Name the time and place and I'll show up. By my damn self. I was never taken up on that offer.
Fuck is you talking
because
about,
you
LeBron?
See, it's real easy to talk that talk. Like you got all the facts.
I show by myself.
When I'm not there to respond. It's another thing entirely. If I'm there to refute all the bullshit coming out your mouth.
All right.
But this is what he does.
That bullshit.
It's what he's always done.
That baby back bullshit.
And then he looks at everybody else and he say, this Stephen A. Man, please, whatever. Why do I take this so seriously? Because you got cats out there trying to give the impression that I come after people's families. I need y'all to pause for 1 second.
Yo, his second round is vicious right now, just so we clear.
And I just need y'all to think.
Hold on,
I'm just talking to the professional athletes out there. I'm not going to even mention any names.
Hold on, I'm about to stop real quick.
This nigga spit the block on his ass and shit. Like, hold on, I ain't done. Like, it's part 2, nigga.
Right.
Who have rallied to the support of LeBron like he's this big victim.
Right.
There are owners, there are general managers, there are coaches, there are other players in other sports, what have you. Nepotism exists in every form of business we can muster in our minds.
Absolutely.
It's okay. It's
That's
okay.
what I said in my other video.
That's what he really mad about.
When have you seen someone
That's what he really
demand
mad
that the
about.
public stands
I said
down
that in my other video. Like, yeah, nepotism is okay.
while somebody has lifted up their offspring before it was earned? When has that happened? I'm not talking about Bronny now and what we're seeing. I'm not even talking about Bronny from a month ago or whatever. I'm just talking about, in general, what the whole spectrum, before he bounced the ball, what we saw, what we witnessed LeBron doing and manipulating. Tell me when we've seen somebody do that for someone who was universally recognized as not necessarily ready yet. Not that he wouldn't be, but not necessarily ready yet. That's what he asked of us.
It depends.
So
that depends.
Again,
on the name
was talking about Dad
how well
as
you know that player.
Yo, he's in public eye.
Yeah.
Don't expose him like this to us. Because we got a job to do.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. That's all. I wasn't the one that brought up the legitimacy of his McDonald's All-American appearance on the roster. Kendrick Perkins did that. Numerous people pointed to other folks in high school basketball at the time, and they were questioning their worthiness. I didn't do that. When he had the heart ailment, oh my God, I hope he's okay. When he decided to pass up staying at USC and turn pro, cool. When opening night took place and the Griffies were in attendance, I was in Crypto.com arena standing clapping. All of that got ignored.
This second round, fire.
Why did it get ignored, ladies and gentlemen? Because LeBron,
Bro,
it wasn't about the problem that LeBron had.
He on his luck shit
about
right
his
now.
son. It was LeBron having a problem with finally finding an excuse
right?
to do what he always wanted to do.
He in his beloved shit
which
right
was
now.
confront me in an unfortunate and public platform.
He came out swinging in this second
I'm
round.
not
nigga,
going to
what?
go as far as I want to go in saying how weak that stuff is in terms of how he confronted me. I would have waited. I got nothing to say to him now.
Oh, I mean,
You know, we'll
unloaded
probably
the
never
clip.
speak in life again. But if he wanted, you know, I wish he had the shop. I wish he invited me on. Not my platform, his platform. You can't defend the stuff that he's done. You have no idea, but he knows I know. We want to go there, let's go there.
Oh, shit.
He knows I know.
Slithering and just through stuff and always with the two-faced nonsense. Ooh, y'all don't know the half.
And we was
Y'all
this
don't
nigga.
know. So when he went on Pat McAfee's show earlier today, it was no surprise.
That's for that. That's that
The show
third
that comes
round
on
right
after
there
first
he
take.
talking about. He getting everybody hyped
The show
for the
that
third round.
stars me.
This is the shit I like right
I
here.
know that you got a new podcast coming out with Steve Nash. No surprise there. JJ Redick, Steve Nash. No surprise. Got the podcast coming out. Definitely want to promote that basketball podcast. And we should watch it. We should learn because LeBron knows more basketball than most people forgot. Just like he said to Pat McAfee. His mind. He thinks the game. Most of these people rely on their athleticism and their talents and their skill. He relies on his brain. He's absolutely right. And he knows basketball
100%.
backwards and forwards. That has nothing to do with how
That
you've
nigga
treated
can
people.
come to a court, a pickup
That has
game
nothing to
and
do with the things that you've said. That has
run his
nothing
way
to
through
do
the game
with you
from a
confronting me
come
about
behind
doing
victory.
my job. And everybody wants to look at it and say, there's a father, there's a father, there's a father. Because I said, as a father, I stand by that. Not because he's Bronny's father. I stand by it because he was the one putting everything on public display. We didn't have to know that he didn't care about, you know, I'm sorry. We did not have to know
AMG mode again.
that he was willing to go someplace else practically for free. We did not have to know that it was not about the money. We did not have to hear him say, you want me, draft Bronny. We did not have to hear him say, my son is better than half the players or some of the players in the NBA right now before he ever played an NBA game. You did that. That was LeBron James who did that. He wasn't asked that.
He going in the AMG mode on
He wasn't
the
asked
rebuttal,
his level
nigga,
of
what?
culpability in all of this. He goes on there and he talks smack. Cool, I got it.
Yeah, nah.
I got it. So, it is what it is. There's really not much else to say other than this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that you understand what I'm about to say.
Okay.
To me, anyway.
All right.
I'm not a liar. You might not like what I say. Every truth ain't meant to be told. But I don't go on the airwaves and lie. I did not know we were being videoed at courtside. He was walking out of a timeout.
Okay, where this going?
I did not know initially that after he finished getting in my face, he looked right up at the camera.
He freestyling right now.
Go back and look at the angle.
Right.
I didn't know that.
This ain't no written.
I didn't know that. When I went on the air the next morning, we had a morning meeting, at which time I said to the staff at First Take,
That nigga ain't
I don't
bring
feel
no
like
third
talking
verse.
about this. And then minutes later, they said it's the #1 trending topic in sports.
Yeah, what?
You have to talk about it.
Yeah,
The boss,
you,
you
nigga.
have to talk about it. What do you mean you ain't talking about it? This is what you do. This is sports. This is a sports story, and it directly involves you. What you mean you ain't talking about it?
Yeah, nah. That's where the
So,
boss is stepping. Like, yeah.
He might think
You talking about
I'm
this.
salivating and I was happy to discuss it. I'm not happy to discuss a dude getting in my face, telling me stop shitting on his son. I'm not happy about that. I think Savannah is the first lady of the NBA. I think she's an absolutely wonderful human being that has always been nothing but kind to me.
This is a bad idea.
You think I like the thought of kissing her off?
This is a bad idea.
You gonna bring out the man's wife? Oh, nah.
An absolutely wonderful person that I have seen over the years and has never been anything but the most pleasant person in the world to me.
You bring up his
I
mother
like the
now?
thought of upsetting her. Or anybody that cares about him. I certainly don't want to hurt Bronny. I'm rooting for the kid. But the news is the news.
I gotta
The sport
report
is the
the
sport.
numbers, nigga.
And the story was the
What
story.
is you talking about? If you lost the sack this week, nigga, you
So LeBron
lost
can
the sack week,
say
nigga.
anything he wants, and I wanted to talk about him or whatever. And I'm going to continue to talk to you about you, bro. When you retire, let's see how much I talk to you about you then. You won't matter much. I promise you, I won't be talking about you much when you stop playing. But as long as you're playing, I'm going to talk about you.
Oh, nah, he gonna bomb on you and
Because
he
that's my job.
retire. You gonna be talking
And I'm going to
about
be
him
very
bad.
objective about it.
He gonna bomb on you.
You deserve praise.
He gonna be on every. He gonna be on Club Shay Shay.
He gonna be on your podcast bombing on you, Stephen.
But at
I
least
don't
I'm
even know
going
why
to
you
tell the
think
truth.
you not. What?
Instead of lying like LeBron James has been lying. Using his son as an excuse to say what he said to me. He has a problem with me. He knows good and damn well I wasn't shitting on his son. He has a problem. And instead of talking to me about it, he came at me when I wasn't in a position to respond. And then when he wanted to respond and elaborate, he went to Pat McAfee. Major props to Pat McAfee again for getting it. Anybody would have gotten it. Damn it, you did it.
Yes, sir.
I have no problem with Pat
definitely
McAfee
got
whatsoever
that
what he did
interview.
with this interview. I'm not insulted or
If you can
offended
get
or
LeBron
betrayed
James, nigga, what?
by a teammate or anything like that. That's nonsense. He did the right thing. LeBron is the culprit here.
He called that man a
Far
culprit.
be it for me to say that about King James.
That nigga must have stole some jewelry or
Kings
something.
don't get blames.
Right.
I guess
that
that's
nigga
why
a
he's not my
culprit.
king.
That nigga is one of them villains.
I got
in
more to
Batman.
say about some things he said about other people
Oh
during this
man.
interview with Pat
Say
McAfee
he's
in a minute,
villain.
right after I pay these bills.
Bro, you got too many
All right, everybody,
bills
listen
to
up.
pay, bro.
With all the big-time sports action that's happening each
Nigga
and every
got
day,
no
the Stephen A.
sponsor,
Smith
nigga.
Show wants to make sure you are
Hey,
Prize Picks.
sponsors
Run
be
your
paying
game.
that money though.
Yeah, yo, you walked away,
You know,
yo,
this
when
is what happens.
you walked away when I was trying to say, like, nigga, yeah, when we start taking sponsors, nigga, we gotta take small sponsors. But don't worry about the sponsor shit right now. Not you, them niggas, because we ain't there yet. But hey, Prize Picks, if y'all want to give a nigga some money right now, we can do that. We'll get that shit cracking in a heartbeat. But yeah, I mean, we not there right now. But anyway, I think that was it. We gonna check and see if he said anything else about this. But this nigga's already like beating a dead horse. Like if this was a battle, LeBron said the most impactful shit, but Stephen A's round was so long and it had so many layered haymakers that it was like, oh shit, like he really lost this. Like all LeBron had to do was rap. Like
right.
For me, I'm just like, nah, Stephen A. Like if this was strictly bad, LeBron is right about the father thing. If he took it personally, you can't judge a nigga on how he receives some criticism.
Yeah.
You can only judge him on how he responds. But like I just don't think that Stephen A. even cares about this shit, really.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't think he even cares to talk about this shit. So.
He like the publicity behind this shit.
Yeah. He said,
and he gonna drag
my
this
job,
shit.
and my bosses told me to talk about it. So here you go. So I'm gonna make money on all platforms, nigga.
Right. So. He's saying thank you to LeBron. You make me viral now.
Let's go ahead and see what else he got to say.
This is what happens when it comes to LeBron James. And by the way,
oh shit, is he going to his third round?
This is the thing that is just so funny. You know, weeks ago when I got annoyed at something he said, he was talking about people shitting on the game every day.
Oh shit, he doing recall.
Wasn't it LeBron James that shitted on the NBA in the play-in tournament? Wasn't it LeBron James that showed up and notified the NBA at the last minute that he wasn't going to be participating in NBA All-Star Weekend?
Atlanta
I don't know whether it was because he didn't like its new format or not.
Yeah.
Wasn't it LeBron James who was reportedly sitting in the locker room with players and Dr. J and Larry Bird talked to the players about playing hard and giving the fans what they want to see and how important All-Star Weekend was? And the NBA thought that the players,
if LeBron James get a Rico, we know who sent them
gave the players a side eye, and then all of a sudden they went out and allowed almost 400 points to be scored in the last All-Star game before this one just passed in 2025.
All that ain't LeBron's fault, but some of that, a good amount
Wasn't
of that
LeBron?
is.
I told y'all when he took his talents to South Beach, ain't nobody gonna say I had a complaint about that. My complaint was about Kevin Durant going to Golden State after being up 3-1, losing the series to them, and then joining them a month later.
Yeah, it was like the nigga that kick off the super teams
and I wish Kevin Durant nothing but the best.
After Miami,
comments about me and all. But LeBron James, I certainly never had a problem with LeBron James going to Miami.
I ain't have a problem with LeBron James going to Miami, but fuck no, that ain't start off the super teams. The super team started off with Houston and the Dream Team, or the Bulls. When the Bulls had grabbed the bad boys, Dennis Rodman. Yeah, when he grabbed Rodman from the bad boy Pistons.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of like a super team, but they didn't really acknowledge that like Jordan was that nigga. So, but if you look back, nigga, Scotty was all defense. He was like second team All Pro, first team All Pro, all those same years. So, like them niggas was nice.
Jordan didn't win a ring till he got Scotty. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So, like, it's just like them niggas was nice too. So, like, you can't really say they weren't a super team. It was just the nigga that was supposed to be the leader was the dominant, definite leader of the team. He was at all points and times. That's the difference between LeBron and Jordan, is because they don't see that same shit in LeBron. LeBron will defer to D Wade. He'll defer to Kyrie. He'll defer to AD. Like he's typically the nigga. It's not his team. It's never really been his team. So that's one thing where it's like
definitely Cavaliers.
The first Cavaliers. Even when no, seriously, yo, even when he got back to Cavaliers.
Oh yeah, the second Cavaliers was Kyrie.
Give it to Kyrie. He was trying to give it to Kyrie. But that became his team. So by the time he got the championship, that was LeBron's team. And that's why it was Kyrie's team. And that's why Kyrie left. Is because that was his team for 3 years or something like that. And then LeBron came. And then they asked Kyrie, how has he been like a father figure to the team?
Yeah,
and he's
Kyrie
like,
was like,
excuse me? Yeah, you remember that interview. Like, yeah, he was like, huh?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And after that, he left. I knew that once that shit happened, you could see it on his face. He was like, that's the last straw.
Yeah,
That's when he knew he'd never play with LeBron again. Once that happened. So, like, yeah, like, nah. And that shit happened with who else? Houston. When they got Clyde Drexler and the other guys, but they just ran into they caught 2 championships. In between Jordan down years. And then the Lakers. Yeah, nigga, they got
Shaq and Kobe.
Shaq, Kobe, it was I think somebody else.
Yeah.
Couple of
then they had Paul Gasol, then he had Meta World P.
The Lakers had a lot of like iterations of mini super teams.
Larry Payton.
The Celtics. Yeah, the Celtics when they won the championship, Ray Allen wasn't there, nigga. Kevin Garnett wasn't there. Ray Allen was with the Bucks or something like that, nigga. Kevin Garnett was with Minnesota. They didn't fucking get drafted in Boston. That's a super team, nigga. And after all of that,
LeBron ain't run the league then.
That's what I'm saying. Then LeBron went and joined Miami after he got his ass from Boston.
He ain't ruined the league then. This shit been like this.
I've been telling niggas that. That's why I be saying when niggas be saying, yo, KD fucked the league up. It's like, yo, neither one of them niggas fucked the league up. It been like that, bro. It been like that. It's just niggas was a little bit more competitive back in the day. So it's like, nigga, you what? I'm not playing with you, nigga. What? You remember the shit you said to me on the court? We finna beat y'all niggas. So that's kind of the mentality.
Threes fucked the league up.
Threes fucked the league up for sure. Threes definitely.
Yeah.
But let's see what else.
Steph Curry.
Man, he fucked the league up for sure with all his teams. Now everybody think they like a sniper. Man.
Right.
That's so disappointing, bro.
Nothing's more special than South Beach. And that brother had me at South Beach 4 consecutive Junes. I was grateful to LeBron James. I wasn't mad. But when he decided to take his talents to South Beach and did so without showing the decorum and respect of at least giving Dan Gilbert a heads up that was what he was going to do, because he decided to, run an event essentially with Jim Gray sitting down. And he talked about generating over $2.5 million for a worthy cause, fair enough. But it being televised on ESPN and ultimately making his announcement that he was taking his talents to South Beach. Did y'all remember what happened in the aftermath of that? Remember a collective bargaining negotiation that followed where players were stripped of 7% of basketball-related income? I mean, Commissioner Stern and those guys were coming forward anyway, but nevertheless, their angst to do so definitely was heightened after that. Remember when Chris Paul got moved and got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, but Dan Gilbert, who had nothing to do with the deal whatsoever, wrote an open letter to the league going absolutely ballistic as to how the Lakers could get the very, very best player in that trade, which was Chris Paul, and basically come out with not even having to pay but so much for it. They were actually making money while trading for Chris Paul and acquiring Chris Paul in the process. And David Stern, the de facto owner for the New Orleans Pelicans at the time, because obviously they didn't have new ownership, so the league de facto owned it for the moment in time, nixed the deal. Well, why was Dan Gilbert so insistent on not minding his business and speaking out against this so vociferously?
That's crazy.
Because he was still pissed off at how he was treated by LeBron James. See, LeBron gets his money, but there's collateral damage that he leaves in his wake all over the place. And other players don't usually see that until it's too late. But we don't talk about that because he's box office. And he's phenomenal, and he's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, and where he goes, ratings follow. And because of that, we gloss over those facts.
LeBron, stay away from this.
But those ain't the only facts we gloss over.
The TV tip, man.
When LeBron talked about the media,
this job.
What does he do now? He comes on Pat
You know,
McAfee's show to get again today.
This nigga
Listen to what he had to say. Listen closely.
GTA,
Check it out.
Belt the ass.
I see a lot of shit too. Like I seen Brian Windhorst at one of these shows not too long ago.
Wendy, you played over high school?
Wendy, you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
This guy was like, says he's like my best friend. These guys are just weird.
I have worked with Brian Windhorst for years. Never once did he say that LeBron was a best friend. A matter of fact, years earlier, it was LeBron who sat in front of the microphones and said, probably nobody knows me better than Brian Windhorst, who's been covering me since I was in junior high school.
Yeah, I was about to say that's where I.
But that's how he talked about it.
Get on my credibility.
Brian Windhorst is an
he
exceptional commentator. Who?
Wendy, you guys played together in high school, right? He was on your high school.
This guy was like, says he's like my best friend. These guys are just weird.
I have worked with Brian Windhorst for years.
Oh, that's crazy. If you watch clips of LeBron being covered, like back when he was younger, you see the nigga that he talking about. He's the nigga that's probably covering LeBron back in high school. You ever see a reporters is probably the nigga Brian Windhorst. Only reason I know about him is because LeBron said that. So that's crazy to think about. Your man said, just so we clear, your man said that. That's your man, by the way. That's your man.
They got your mans.
He was your man.
He was your man. It's like...
Good, my production over here. You good? You straight? Yeah, man. But yeah, we had 38 minutes. We definitely finna wrap this shit up. All right, hold on.
Never once did he say
this nigga still got
that LeBron
14 minutes
was a best friend.
Come on, yo.
A matter of fact, years earlier, it was LeBron who sat in front of the microphones and said, probably nobody knows me better than Brian Windhorst, who's been covering me since I was in junior high school. But that's how he talked about him.
That's what he said about him.
Brian Windhorst
he was your man, Joe.
is an exceptional commentator who does a phenomenal job for ESPN. My show, Get Up, NBA Today, Sports Centers, goes and covers the game. He is one of the elite people covering the NBA in this world. And nobody, I repeat, nobody defends LeBron James more than that man. And look at what LeBron James did. Y'all have watched Wendy report for years.
That's a fact, yo. Wendy mad humble, yo.
Tell me one time. Tell me one thing that Brian Windhorst has done to negatively impact LeBron James. One. Take your time. I'll wait. Nobody is more fair. Nobody digs deeper, maneuvers through the crevices to find the positive about LeBron James, no matter what the story is.
Shot that man down.
But that's how LeBron talked about him. He doesn't stop there, though. He also went into today's players compared to yesteryear.
Just so
I thought that was a subject he didn't want to touch. I thought that we should just have.
Just so we are clear, though, like, and we could stop it here if you want to, because he already offered his son, like the topic of his son. But just so we clear, like, Stephen A. has more rounds to go as far as, like, if they get into a face-to-face debate about anything
Yeah.
And yeah, if they get into a shit throwing contest, this might get ugly. Like
Yeah.
And I thought Stephen A was one of his biggest supporters, but he turned out to be the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know. Like he used to seem like a big supporter. So, yeah, yo. What you think about this shit, yo? To be completely honest, like, stop this shit
I
right
think.
here. He said a lot, yo, but like.
Yeah, he didn't say a lot. I think he definitely got more to say. I think he definitely know more about LeBron and shit. So he telling LeBron, look, I can't end you and shit. I know shit about you.
He definitely saying like, bro, this little image you built up, this little image, I could bring that shit all down.
I can bring it down.
Like, yeah, yo, so damn, bro, this shit crazy. Like,
yeah,
already had an hour and 15 minutes. That's not bad though. A nice little hour-long pod. But yeah, yo, I really don't know. I doubt they say anything else back to each other, at least for right now. Maybe after I'll say the finals. If the Lakers are in the finals, I say if the Lakers get swept the first round, he on Stephen A. the next week.
Stephen A.
Yeah. They at each other next the next week. So
hell yeah. Hell
if
yeah.
not, then yeah, I think that's gonna be chill. As far as Bronny is concerned, I don't think he really meant no harm to Bronny.
Yeah.
But
when you talking about as a player and shit.
When you say as a father, nigga, just know some niggas are gonna take it personal. So we know that.
Definitely.
We know that much. Like we definitely know that much.
Yeah.
Man. So
yeah. That's what triggered him and shit.
Shit. I'm glad I got to react to it this way, only because trying to go through this shit for an hour and a half by myself, nigga, would have been terrible. Cause I'd have stopped every 5 fucking seconds to say something. Oh, he said that. This shit would have been 5 hours long. So 1 hour, close to 1 hour, 20 minutes, something like that, nigga. We good. Anything else you want to say about this before I wrap this up?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say. Nope. Shit. I'm just. What's next? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
LeBron had about him on Instagram and shit. That's about it.
Yeah, they doing little pot shots back at each other. Well, LeBron.
Oh yeah, little mean dabs and shit.
But if we talking in terms of a battle, I'll leave it at this, right? If we talking in terms of battling, Stephen A. is doing what Kendrick did to Drake.
Yeah.
Just so we clear.
Yeah. You're right. You're definitely right.
You're not a colleague, you're a fucking colonizer.
This is Stephen A.'s battleground, LeBron, he could have basketball.
You call Future when you want to hit the club. You call Thug just to get your lingo or something like that.
Stephen A. gonna say he was at them Diddy parties and shit,
Another thing he's doing is because he disassociating him from like the brand. Like, yeah, but what about what you did to the NBA? Let's talk about that shit is like, yeah. I got a sock in my hand and shit. But yeah, that shit
why nobody want to play with?
Yeah, like it's like he really attacked his image. That was if we talking in terms of battle rap, that was very strategic. And I don't know what LeBron had to say else about that, but he gonna have some more shit to say soon. So I don't know, man. That's pretty much all I got on that shit, man. You know?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Still not telling you niggas no names. Nigga.
No names.
Don't worry about all that.
Even though y'all probably see our name on the screen and shit.
If you know, you know. No, nigga, because I don't put our names up yet, nigga. We gonna get to the 10th one, and then we gonna be rocking.
Okay, bet.
We gonna get to the 10th one, and then we gonna be rocking, nigga. And plus, Henry don't got his oh shit, I called him by his name, but that ain't what his name really gonna be, nigga.
Hey, we can't rob a bank for nothing.
Yeah, nah, we can't rob a bank. Don't rob a. Listen. Don't talk to me during the mission, nigga. I'm quiet. I know what I got to do.
The fuck you talking about, Henry? Like, oh.
Listen, don't talk to me during the motherfucking robbery, bro. I'm focused on I'm focused on what I'm doing, bro. Don't talk to me about nothing, bro. Don't say nothing to me when we go to rob somebody. You said go get the money. I'm going to go get the money. I'm not doing nothing else, bro.
Yeah.
That's going to throw me off my shit, and I'm going to call somebody by their name, bro. So, yeah. But yeah, though, yo. Like we said, man, much about nothing. We be back at y'all pretty soon. Yeah. Niggas been going through shit, life, all that good stuff. But
you're right.
Like, share, subscribe, and we'll get back at y'all in another one, man. We out.
Cheers.